All right, hey everybody, happy Monday to you. I'm here this March 6th, 8:02 p.m. is the time I have on the East Coast where we all sit happy and healthy. I'm gonna have to apologize to you guys right now. I don't have any of my graphics controls up today, so I'm not gonna have any of the signage or the lower thirds or anything like that that'll help tell this story, so bear with me. It's just me and you today. I still have video though, so that'll work out. And we'll be able to go through some of our top stories here at Atlanta News First and walk you through some of the coverage we've got coming up tonight beginning at 9 o'clock. So just about an hour from right now. As always, my name's Devlin. I'm an anchor here with Atlanta News First. Thank you for joining me on this Monday. Beautiful day in weather. My goodness, the whole weekend was something out of a storybook. So we're going to have Patrick Pete come in a little bit, as always, and tell you about what's coming up the rest of this week. Because believe it or not, if you're from Atlanta, you know that nice weather doesn't stick around forever. We've got some rain and some cooler temperatures moving in, but I will let the meteorologist tell you about the science. I am no meteorologist. I am an anchor, though, so we're going to jump into some news stories, starting with one of our top stories tonight, which is this police training facility. You might have heard over the weekend, just yesterday, actually, I should say, there was a protest. It was a peaceful, planned protest that quickly turned violent around 5:30 yesterday evening there in DeKalb County at the site of this future police safety training facility. If you haven't seen this video, I want to show you because it is like something out
This
of a
video from
movie.
Atlanta police shows
So I can walk you through this really quick. I want to put this video on your screen, actually. Look at this. These are protesters over here behind the fence at the top left-hand corner of your screen. Police say they are throwing smoke bombs, Molotov cocktails, fireworks, large rocks, whatever it is, and they gathered quickly. And this got out of hand just as fast. You can see them throwing those rocks from the construction site over at police cars, setting fire to tractors and the equipment and the other construction stuff. There's a tractor right there ablaze from one of those fire bombs that they threw. APD and Georgia State Patrol troopers responded very quickly and were able to deal with this and handle it. But 23 people were arrested and have all been charged with domestic terrorism. I do believe 32 people in total were detained at one point. So you had a massive response from police there to attempt to protect that facility. But again, thankfully, we didn't get any reports of anybody getting injured, any police officers getting injured who were responding out there. But as you just heard me play up front, Bridget Spencer walks us through how this happened. I'm going to let her tell it because she was out there and she can tell it a little bit better than I can.
This video from Atlanta police shows complete chaos unfolding at the future site of the department's training facility. The chief is calling it a coordinated criminal attack against officers.
A group of individuals that had previously been attending an event not too far from the new site of the Public Safety Training Center left that location and moved toward the training center site, armed with fireworks, rocks, Molotov cocktails, and other devices.
The group can be seen walking around just minutes after launching the attack.
The officers adjusted quickly to ensure their safety, held the position until additional officers arrived from DeKalb County, from the Georgia State Patrol, and then moved back in to make arrests into the area.
The site of the facility has been a source of tension. Activists protesting against the destruction of the green space and construction of the facility. But Chief Shearbaum says these were not protesters, but agitators.
This wasn't about a public safety training center. This was about anarchy, and this was about the attempt to destabilize.
Governor Brian Kemp releasing a statement that said in part, quote, domestic terrorism will not be tolerated in this state. As we continue to respect peaceful protests, we will also continue to ensure safety in our communities. No officers were injured during the attack. Police say 35 people were detained at the incident, and the chief says he's going to work with local authorities to ensure the agitators are charged appropriately.
Actions such as this will not be tolerated. When you attack law enforcement officers, when you damage equipment, you are breaking the law.
Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
So quite the mess there. Quite a busy weekend for APD and the Georgia State Patrol. They are still working through this. And again, 23 people right now charged with domestic terrorism in that incident. Another story I want to tell you guys about is a sad story. And it's a wake-up call for parents all over the metro. Two teenagers lost their lives at a shooting at a 16th birthday party, which was perfectly peaceful and fine until bullets started flying outside that home in Douglasville. I want to show you these two teens. This is a picture of both of them shot dead at that party. This is 14-year-old Ajan Hill and 15-year-old Samuel Moon. We are working to figure out more details about this. No suspects have been arrested involving with this shooting, but I will show you what that scene looked like over the weekend. This is dashcam video of officers arriving there in Douglasville at the house party, telling everyone to get down, get on the ground. 100 kids were attending this 16th birthday party there in Douglasville. You can see a lot of them out here in the streets right now. When police arrived, they say they found one teen shot in the leg. Another teen was dead on scene. Again, 2 teens in total have been pronounced dead, 6 pronounced injured in this shooting. Like I said, no arrest yet, and the suspects have not been found, but they're offering $20,000 for any information leading to an arrest and a conviction. Once again, these 2 teenagers lost their lives, didn't even get to live a full life, didn't even turn 20, 30, 50, 16 and 15, 14 and 15. So much ahead of them, and they just didn't get to experience that. If you know any information about that shooting or what happened there in Douglasville over the weekend, let police know. They are trying to track down and bring that mother justice as well. Last thing I want to talk to you guys about, it is crossover day here in Georgia, which basically means that there are a lot of bills that have to cross over the chambers in order for them to be considered as law moving forward in this year's legislation. And so some of the big ones we were watching specifically is one that already actually got passed today, which defines anti-Semitism as a hate crime, where you can be prosecuted as a hate crime here in the state of Georgia, outlined with what anti-Semitism is. This came after very anti-Semitic flyers were handed out in Sandy Springs and Dunwoody, 2 very high population, with very high Jewish populations, 2 cities there north of Atlanta. This was then brought down by the senators and House Representatives out of those districts, and it passed today. So now SB 30 outlines anti-Semitism, and you can be prosecuted as a hate crime for anti-Semitic actions here in the state of Georgia. Another one we're looking at very closely is sports betting, where one of the 2 bills was actually shot down today. So it's not dead, it just isn't moving forward at this time. A lot of Georgians want to get through some sports betting, start putting some bets on some of your favorite sports teams, whether it be here in Georgia or beyond. Right now, it's pretty much illegal here in Georgia across most instances outside of some forms of fantasy sports betting. But, other states like Tennessee, wide open. Here in Georgia, not so much. Another one, SB 140, which is basically prohibiting certain health care for gender dysphoria, younger people with gender dysphoria, which is basically a term that they are using to describe someone who might look in the mirror under the age of 18 as a woman or a man and believe that they do not align. What they see in the mirror doesn't align with who they feel they should be. What this bill does is outlaw, along with a bunch of other things, but the main thing is outlaw gender-affirming surgeries for those younger teenagers. And so this would prevent, for example, any kind of gender reassignment surgery or gender-affirming surgery, or the presentation or distribution of testosterone or any kind of hormone drugs or medications to anybody under the age of 18. It's a long list of other things. It's a controversial bill for the most part. Some people for it, some people against it, as are most bills that are coming through most of these state legislators. But this one is one that we're still watching. It has not crossed over yet. It has not been affirmed or denied yet, but we are keeping our eyes on it for sure. And so there's a couple other bills that are going down right now, but those are the main ones in this session that we are for sure keeping our eyes on here at Atlanta News First. And once we get more information about SB 140, once we get more information about the sports betting bill, some of the things you really want to hear about, we will let you know. So that's been the top 3 stories here this fine Monday. It's been a long week. Yasmina Alston, Asia Wilson, Chelsea Beimfor, all tackling these stories coming up tonight at 9, 10, and 11. 9 will be Savannah Louie and Rick Folbaum. I will be soloing our 10 o'clock show on Peachtree TV. And then Rick and Savannah will be back at it again at 11 on WANF to break down all this evening stories, what I just talked about, and a whole lot more. But like I said, I made you a promise. I'm going to keep it weather, weather, weather. It has been wonderful here in the metro, and meteorologist Patrick Pete is going to talk to you a little bit about what that looks like moving forward. Patrick, I will say, I told them already, we do not have any lower thirds today. Our graphics is down, so you're going to have to kind of fly solo, but if they got you on the mic, they will be perfectly fine, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, our forecast is looking pretty good. Now, the pollen counts were a bit high today, and that's going to continue to be a part of our story for the next couple of days. So if you've been reacting, I don't know about you. I stepped outside today, and I went for a nice 4.5 mile run at Piedmont Park, and halfway through it, I was like, Yeah, it's definitely one of those days where the pollen is going to be a big impact as we head into the day tomorrow and approaching Wednesday, and then it'll take a dip heading into Thursday. Take a look at these temperatures, because our temperatures are going to do a bit of a ride as we head through the rest of the work week. Upper 70s, mid to upper 70s across the area for your Tuesday afternoon, and then we're going to track those temps eventually falling and eventually dipping below average on Thursday. Remember, last month we spent 24 days above average, only 4 days below average. Well, we have 4 days in the forecast in a row in this 7-day forecast that is going to be below the seasonal average of 63 degrees. And then there's a first alert for Friday as rain will move into the region. But there's still some dry time to talk about. I do expect a stray shower early morning, roughly 4 to 7 a.m., very isolated, not a whole lot of energy with this. This is all as a front's going to push through the area. Expecting sunny skies to dominate the first half of the afternoon and then become partly cloudy as we head into the evening. As those clouds thicken up, that's going to help keep us a little comfortable as we head into the second half of the day. Temperatures rapidly climbing into the 70s around the 11 o'clock hour. National Cereal Day. We were having a debate about cereal today. I think that I am probably not a big cereal eater that often, but Fruit Loops used to be my jam back in the day. Mid-70s for the afternoon. We'll top out near 76 degrees before we slowly start to cool back down. And I expect Wednesday to be mainly dry as well. There is a rain chance, but I do think that rain chance is later on in the day. Meanwhile, going to be a little chilly to start the morning on the backside of that front. Mid-40s, upper 40s across parts of our state, and we will see those numbers gradually improve as we head into the afternoon, but not getting into the 70s, struggling to get into the mid-60s, clouds increasing as we head into Wednesday evening's commute, and then those spotty rain chances are going to trickle in as we head through the rest of the day. Nothing too organized until Friday. Friday's when that cold front will slide towards our region, and widespread rain is going to be in the cards as we start off your morning commute and lingering into the afternoon. Eventually, we will see things start to dry out just in time for any of your late night Friday plans, and then cooler air yet again being reinforced as we head into your Saturday. The good news, Saturday is going to be dry, and it's the Atlanta St. Patrick's Day Parade. So if you're thinking about stepping out, I do think that a lighter jacket is going to be in the cards. We're talking about being in the mid to upper 50s, near 60 for most of that parade. So not as warm as this weekend, but it'll definitely be a win. I'm glad we're not in the 30s and 40s. Meanwhile, that first alert for your Friday is our big event this week. Thankfully, there's not a lot of energy with this. Maybe a rumble of thunder, but no severe weather. The dynamics are just not in place, and we dry out just in time for your Saturday. And as we spring forward into Sunday, we will need that umbrella because spring will be ringing in true spring fashion, or at least with rain in the forecast Sunday into Monday. Temperatures dipping down to the mid-50s. So lots going on this week with the forecast, mainly the temperatures and then spotty rain opportunities. Thursday and Friday look to be our best chances for rain this work week, with Friday being the first alert day, and then we dry out for Saturday. Saturday is going to be the weekend winner, and then rain chances return on Sunday. So I'll leave you with the 7-day forecast so that you can make your plans. Meanwhile, we'll be fine-tuning that forecast and the timing of that rain on Sunday as we head through the next couple of days. You can get the updated information on the hour-by-hour breakdown of the work week coming up tonight at 9, 10, and 11. Y'all have a good night.